Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of Hollywood's most beloved stars. I'm your host, Casey Gold, and today we're shining the spotlight on the incomparable Glenn Frey, the legendary musician, singer, songwriter, and founding member of the Eagles. With a career spanning over 4 decades, Glenn Frey left an indelible mark on the music world, and it's my pleasure to share his remarkable story with you. Born on November 6, 1948 in Detroit, Michigan, Glenn Louis Frey was the son of Edward and Nellie Frey. His father, a car salesman, and his mother, a homemaker, instilled in him a strong work ethic and a passion for music from an early age. Growing up in the suburbs of Royal Oak, Michigan, Glenn was surrounded by the vibrant sounds of Motown, jazz, and folk music, which would later influence his unique songwriting style. As a child, Glenn spent countless hours listening to his parents' record collection, which featured artists like Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, and Little Richard. He was particularly drawn to the folk scene, attending concerts at the legendary Retort Coffee Shop in Detroit, where he saw local musicians perform acoustic sets. This exposure to the folk scene had a profound impact on Glenn, shaping his songwriting style and vocal delivery. Glenn's early education took place at Dondero High School in Royal Oak, where he excelled academically and musically. He was an active member of the school's music program, participating in the choir and playing in the school band. During this period, Glenn began to write his own songs, drawing inspiration from his personal experiences and observations. His early compositions were heavily influenced by the folk rock sound of the 1960s, with lyrics that explored themes of love, social justice, and self-discovery. The 1960s were a transformative time for Glenn, as he became increasingly fascinated with the music of Bob Dylan, Joan Baez, and the Beatles. He spent hours practicing guitar, teaching himself to play and sing along to his favorite songs. Glenn's parents, recognizing his talent and dedication, encouraged him to pursue music as a career. With their support, Glenn began performing at local venues, including the famous Grande Ballroom in Detroit, where he shared the stage with notable acts like the Stooges and MC5. As we explore the early life of Glenn Frey, it's clear that his upbringing, family, and surroundings played a significant role in shaping his passion for music and his eventual rise to stardom. The seeds of his success were sown in the vibrant city of Detroit, where he was exposed to a diverse range of musical influences and developed the skills that would serve him well throughout his career. Glenn's parents, Edward and Nellie, were instrumental in nurturing his talent, providing him with music lessons and encouraging him to pursue his dreams. The combination of his musical influences, family support, and educational experiences all contributed to the development of his unique talent and artistic vision. Glenn's musical journey began to take shape in the late 1960s, when he met Don Henley, Randy Meisner, and Bernie Leadon, with whom he would form the Eagles. The band's unique sound, which blended country, rock, and folk influences, quickly gained popularity, and they released their debut album, Eagles, in 1972. The album was a moderate success, but it was their follow-up album, Desperado, that truly showcased Glenn's songwriting talents and the band's harmonious vocals. One of the standout tracks from Desperado is the iconic song Tequila Sunrise, which Glenn co-wrote with Don Henley. This song not only demonstrated the band's ability to craft catchy, memorable melodies, but also highlighted Glenn's storytelling ability and poetic lyrics. As Glenn once said, "I think the key to writing a good song is to tell a story that people can relate to, and to do it in a way that's both personal and universal." This approach to songwriting would become a hallmark of Glenn's career, and a major factor in the Eagles' enduring success. The Eagles' subsequent albums, including On the Border and One of These Nights, further solidified their reputation as one of the leading rock bands of the 1970s. Glenn's contributions to these albums, including songs like Take It Easy and Lion Eyes, showcased his versatility as a songwriter and his ability to craft songs that were both radio-friendly and critically acclaimed. In addition to his work with the Eagles, Glenn also pursued a successful solo career, releasing his debut album, No Fun Allowed, in 1982. This album featured the hit single, The One You Love, which reached the top of the Billboard charts and demonstrated Glenn's ability to craft catchy, pop-infused rock songs. Throughout the 1980s, Glenn released several successful solo albums, including The All-Nighter and Soul Searchin', which featured a mix of rock, pop, and R&B influences. Glenn's success with the Eagles and as a solo artist can be attributed to his tireless work ethic, his dedication to his craft, and his ability to adapt to changing musical trends. As he once said, "I've always tried to stay true to myself and my music, while also being open to new ideas and influences." This approach allowed him to navigate the ever-changing landscape of the music industry and to maintain a loyal fan base throughout his career. With his unique songwriting style, his distinctive vocals, and his ability to craft songs that resonated with audiences around the world, Glenn left an indelible mark on the music industry. In the 1990s and 2000s, Glenn continued to tour and record with the Eagles, releasing several successful albums, including Hell Freezes Over and Long Road Out of Eden. These albums featured a mix of new material and classic Eagles hits, and demonstrated the band's enduring popularity and ability to craft songs that resonated with audiences around the world. One of the standout tracks from this period is the song How Long, which Glenn co-wrote with Don Henley and features a soaring vocal performance and a memorable guitar riff. In addition to his work with the Eagles, Glenn also pursued various solo projects, including a series of albums that explored his roots in country and blues music. One notable example is his 2012 album, After Hours, which features a collection of jazz standards and showcases Glenn's versatility as a vocalist and interpreter of songs. This album was a labor of love for Glenn, who had always been a fan of jazz and had wanted to record an album that paid tribute to the great singers and songwriters of the genre. Throughout his career, Glenn was recognized with numerous awards and accolades, including multiple Grammy Awards, American Music Awards, and inductions into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Songwriters Hall of Fame. He was also named one of the greatest guitarists of all time by Rolling Stone magazine, and was praised by critics and fans alike for his unique songwriting style, his distinctive vocals, and his ability to craft songs that resonated with audiences around the world. Sadly, Glenn passed away on January 18, 2016, at the age of 67, due to complications from rheumatoid arthritis, acute ulcerative colitis, and pneumonia. His death was met with an outpouring of tributes and condolences from fans and fellow musicians around the world, who remembered him as a talented songwriter, a gifted musician, and a true rock legend. As we look back on Glenn's life and career, it's clear that he left an indelible mark on the music industry. As Don Henley once said, Glenn was a true original, and his music will live on forever. And as Glenn himself once said, "I've always tried to stay true to myself and my music, while also being open to new ideas and influences." This approach allowed him to navigate the ever-changing landscape of the music industry and to maintain a loyal fan base throughout his career. In conclusion, Glenn Frey's later years were marked by continued creativity, innovation, and success, both with the Eagles and as a solo artist. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Casey Gold, reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.